Short turn now feature-length film is always a very intriguing thing to me, and I am very excited to jump into the review of this new film, Martyrs Lane. What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel today for another review. And today we're going to be reviewing the film Martyrs Lane, which made its world premiere this year at Fantasia Film Festival 2021. Now, it's just always exciting to see short films get turned into, serious or feature-length films. And I think that, beyond that, you got to give your hats off to the directors or the creators, whoever it is, in doing so. That's also, it's a huge step, and a lot of it has to do with funding, time, whatever it may be. But whenever you get to that milestone, you got to give them their props. And this is Ruth Platt's third feature, and it's a ghost story. So yeah, I'm here for that. And I thought this film was pretty good. It was a little bit of a slow burn, and it's not like this film really recreated the wheel in regards to the story, but I was intrigued because I kind of wanted to see how this all was going to play out. And I also thought that the lead here, Kiera Thompson, who plays Leah, I thought this little girl did a fantastic job in keeping me invested. And I think the biggest thing is because her performance came off really authentic about how big the world is and how oblivious we can be at times. And the fact that she's kind of, discovering the dynamics of her family and what her family ties are, and all this being circled and premised around the church, and she's involved and her dad's involved, and all sorts of things about the past that she's not aware of, taking us on that journey. I thought she did a really good job in keeping the viewers there. But yeah, again, a slow burn because there's a lot of character development, and while this is a ghost story and you got that extra mystique of things kind of coming at you at times, just be patient with it. And it's a beautiful film. I thought the cinematography was super good, and especially at some of the low light shots. But the one thing I will say too is that I think that there was parts of the film where I was kind of getting disinterested with the plot, not the performance, but with the plot, because I kind of wanted to see things kind of progress a little bit faster. I wanted to kind of see the events unfold. But I will say again, with Kiera's performance, who I think has a bright future ahead of her, I think without that performance, I don't know how I would have felt about this film. And at times I also felt like the film was a little bit longer than I would have enjoyed. But again, it's just because of it being a slow burn and because of the events of what was happening, it just took a long time to get to that point where it was just like, oh, okay. But beyond everything that's happening in the film, the real horror of this film is that this little girl, Leah, is asthmatic, and being asthmatic, seeing her suffer and kind of battle her asthma throughout this film was truly the most traumatic part of this film, because once she's breathing hard, you start to get concerned, and because of either what she's experiencing or what she's going through and all sorts of different things. I don't know if that was put in there to add for the extra bit of horror, but man, did it work. Because I was just like, oh my god, please help her, get your inhaler, But as she discovers her family's secrets and whatnot, because her mom is waking up at night, and she's clearly dealing with some PTSD of some sorts, and she's just young, she's oblivious, she doesn't know what's happening. But the more and more she discovers, the more and more she's finding clues, the more and more she's putting pieces of the puzzle together, and the more and more we draw to actually what's happening, the film actually picks up and becomes super enjoyable. But the other thing too is that as I said, it's premised around the church and the beliefs. And then you start adding in family secrets, and then you add in this pregnancy aspects, and then you have this guardian angel that comes and visits Leah, who appears to be aiding her to put these clues together. And at one point, it just seems to be just a companion, just an imaginary friend who just wants to have fun and very similar to her and very understanding, and starting to be a little bit leading, starting to lead her on to other things that's helping her with this investigation and clues and discoveries about the house she's living in and what's happening with her family and so on. So like, it's kind of interesting because at one point they're just playing like random games of like two truths and a lie, and then it starts coming down to like, wait, this is a very specific thing that you're talking about here. Like, what's happening? Like, what do you know? And that's where things start to get interesting. Now, the family in this all have a secret, and they've been trying to avoid it emotionally. They're just trying to get by the wayside, but at some point you're going to have to deal with this. And that's where we get to, let's talk about the ending now, and with spoilers here. Now, with all the supernatural stuff that was kind of happening in this film, at some point we knew that the guardian angel, who on surface looked to be good, but at some point we knew she wasn't really sincere. Come to find out, she is the spirit of the daughter of theirs, the sister, who was tragically killed on her bike. So Leah doesn't know about this because this is before her, but the family do, and it's been hard for them to really deal with the grieving. But at the same time, that mother-daughter relationship isn't something that either one of them could actually process. And again, it's been really hunting the mother, but now that the daughter has come back, we see some flashbacks of the moments where they shared together and all sorts of different things that really validate all of the clues that Leah were putting together. And obviously we see the tragic death of how she was killed. But yeah, she's not back to be friendly. She's back to come get her mom and take her mom with her. And we see her and her mom, well, they fall through a window. And we don't know what happened is that, because they leave that open for interpretation. So did she really die? I don't know. But then that final scene where we see Leah looking at her mother and her daughter playing the piano, and it looks like they're getting ready to move, which also happens to be what Leah's mother wanted to do before this even happened, because if she's displaced, then she can deal with the trauma a little bit easier and the grieving a little bit easier. But did she really die? Well, it appears so, because she's there with her sister, who is dead. We can confirm that. So again, this film leaves a little bit of mystery and a little bit of leaving it up for interpretation of the viewers, and I think that's pretty cool. But so folks, again, Martyrs Lane, I thought this was a really good film, a slow burn. I enjoyed it, and I think that Ruth did a fantastic job with her third feature-length film here. And obviously the progress of getting this from a short to a feature-length, you always got to tip your hat for that as well too. But this is one of those type of films that I enjoy, and I just, as me reviewing it for you all, it's one of those things where like, just be patient, because things play out, and they definitely do make the story intriguing. Because at first I thought I was getting like hardcore supernatural stuff and whatnot, because you get a little bit of sprinkles of that, but it wasn't really about that. This was really driven through the emotion of grieving and just family secrets and how that could be detrimental to the family. So that's that. But yeah, folks, again, this is Martyrs Lane. Jump in the comments, let me know your thoughts about this film, and as always, stay tuned for more reviews coming very soon.